Hello, SimTheWorld back with another episode of Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. In this series, we're going through all of the story orders in the game. So with that, let's check out our first car. As you can see, we're missing the front bumper. The rims look pretty rusted. I suspect we're going to have to replace all four of those. Cool thing about this car is no engine. Just kidding. The engine is actually over here in the trunk. Pretty cool. You get to it from the back end here, take off the engine cover, and there it is. So some of the trunk space is missing, but I guess you get it up front. More of a European thing, I suppose. Let's jump into the vehicle itself. Let's see what the issues are. The customer says, "I've got something unique for you. Today with a friend of mine, I've saved a little race car from the junkyard. I want to give it another chance at life and want to race this car on the actual race track. To do this, this little baby needs to run first, and this is where you come in. Do your best to make it go really fast. I don't care how it looks, I just want it to go like, you know what." Yeah, based on this repair list, this car isn't moving currently, so any amount of speed, even pushing it down a hill, may be more than it gets today. There's not many body parts we got to do, and we need to change the oil. So I'm going to take a look here. I think it'd be nice. Let's see if it even runs. Ooh. All right, so we can test the electronics. I don't think the car needs to start for that, if I recall. We're gonna find out what's wrong. Yeah, the battery's dead, so this thing won't start. Good to know. Check the compression testing, see if we're gonna need to rip this engine out. The engine actually looks fine, in pretty good shape. Just doing a glance over here. We know the rims need replaced. The brakes probably need done. The axle's bad here. And if we jump up front, like this whole front end suspension looks absolutely worthless. So I'm going to continue. Ooh, this does have an OBD support. That's convenient. And a couple of the spark plugs are bad. That's not a big deal. I think we may end up replacing all the spark plugs just to be safe. We'll see how this order goes. And the fuel rails are good. I guess we might as well check the tires. That's the last gauge we gotta check. All the tires. So the tires and the rims are going. Ugh. That's gonna be a lot of work. This is where I wish in this game, instead of just having one tire changer and one balancer, letting us set up a few would be nice, but perhaps in the future title of the game. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pick up those body parts and get those slapped on real quick. Get this over to the lifter, and I'll start ripping out that front suspension. We'll tackle the engine as the last item, because there's the spark plugs that needs to go. The air filter looks bad. Along with the brakes, the ABS module and the pump need to be replaced too. So, yeah, I think that's the right way to do this. I will catch back up with you in a few minutes. So we've taken all of the suspension parts off. We've gotten this car completely ready to go. We're going to jump over here to the tire changer. As you can see, we need to replace all the rims and tires, so there's no point in separating. We probably could save this rim. If we pulled it out, we could repair it on the repair bench, but that's probably not going to be worth it to us. In fact, it's just easier to buy a new part. The customer's already paying for it, so we don't really lose any money in this. Not that money's that big of a deal right now. We've got almost $500,000. We have no money concerns whatsoever. Which would make you think we could afford another tire changer and another balancer. But alas, that's just a little out of our reach still. Anything to speed this up would be fantastic. Like, as we're waiting for these tires to get balanced, you probably could have a cigarette break. I mean, this is my shop. I don't know why we're not allowed to smoke in here. Especially since we're just standing around. Got our fancy calendar here. March of 2017. Oh, if only it was still March of 2017. Such a golden time that was. When there wasn't a pandemic running rampant through the world. Luckily for us, 2020 is almost coming to a close. Alright, so we can go back and start assembling this. We've got not too much work ahead of us. Just the front end. The back end, most of the suspension parts look good. Actually, you know what? I may have spoke too soon. Look at that bushing. I want to take a look at that. Yeah, both of those bushings were bad. Oops. That could have been bad. Alright, those bushings were fine. So I'm going to make sure we put those back on. And I'm going to check out the other side. See if there's bad bushings as well. So I don't want to come through here and have to redo a bunch of this. Yeah, these look bad too. Huh. Just goes to show. You wanna dive in there, you wanna make sure everything's correct. I need 4 more bushings. These developers, they're on the sneaky side. You gotta watch them sometimes. This could have easily been another hour of my life searching for this part. And no one would have wanted that. You guys don't want to watch an hour of me searching tirelessly for a lousy bushing. I certainly don't want to waste that time on it. I suppose once we start the, yeah, we gotta get some more calipers. I suppose once the car starts, once we replace those spark plugs and the battery, we'd be able to go test that on the track. The testing's for squares. We can figure this out by sight and smell alone. Let me jump over here. Thank you. I really do like the camera work in the game. It's very helpful. But sometimes it's just so difficult to get the right view. Like, you almost have to think ahead and make sure you click to get a good view before you install the part. Otherwise, you're kind of stuck on that screen. Alright, I'm going to rip through this front suspension, and we'll be on our way. Alright, I believe that should be it for the suspension. Let's double check here. Yeah, we're not quite done with the job yet. Yeah, we have the ABS module, the battery, and we have some parts that are yet to be discovered. Hopefully those are all in the engine bay. I think we did most of the work already for the suspension. Like, there wasn't much left to replace. And there's the battery. I can't wait until we get the final stage of this garage. It comes with a battery charger. Something you think you could have in a basic garage, but alas, that's only for the elite garages, where you can charge your battery without any issue. Ooh. The air filter cover. Alright. So I think that might be all the parts we need to find. Let's go get the air filter and the cover. And in fact, rather than pay money for another piece of plastic, let's see what we can do with that didn't work. Yeah, we repaired everything but the cover. That little thud meant we broke it somehow. Let's find the top. It's $45? Come on. It's a piece of plastic. We did fix everything else though, so that was fine. Yeah, we even fixed the ABS module, so if you guys are trying to save some money playing through the game, that is a great way to finish these orders. Just taking the parts you need to fix over to the repair bench. Rather than buying new ones. It's simpler just to buy the new ones. It takes less time. But I suppose if there is a little more emphasis on the actual gameplay, like money-wise, I'd feel more inclined to be a little more savvy with our money. If there's things to purchase, if we had to pay overhead on the garage itself, things like that. Since we don't have to, the only thing we spend money on is new cars. At a certain point, it really doesn't matter. I believe there's an achievement for running out of money in this game, and I don't know how you do that. I guess you have to, like, actually go out of your way to do it. Alright. Let's take a look. Did we find everything, or are we missing one part? That's odd. The job bonus is $0. Oh, the oil. I was like, what's going on? Yeah, I guess that would help if we change the oil just as the customer requested. This car is going to be running infinitely quicker than it was before, because it wasn't running at all. We need to put the engine cover on. I'll look away so the menu goes away. So since we replaced the front bumper, we got to replace the license plates, I believe. So I figured me and the wife just went to Pennsylvania for the weekend the other week. So why don't we go with Pennsylvania license plates? You don't let me put the license plate back on? Alright folks, so I found the issue. So the license plate doesn't come up if the trunk is closed. But if we go ahead and open it, and now put the license plate in, there we go. I was very concerned. The model just must be a little bit behind. Okay, so that license plate just flipped into the back. I don't know what to tell you. It's in the car now. We are sending this car along for $23,000. You could have bought a new car. Would have been fast, but that's good for us, and that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching as I simulate my life one game at a time. If you like this video, please be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of the future action. You can follow on Twitter for updates to future games being played, as well as follow on Twitch as I try to stream 3 days a week. Thanks, and I'll see you next time at SimTheWorld.